We're gonna take a look at the Salazzle in the Summer Cup. This Pokemon is something that is kinda special for this cup because you're going to be able to beat both the Charjabug as well as the Vigoroth, the two most common Pokemon for this cup, together with one Pokemon, which is really rare because usually like those two Pokemon are a perfect core together, but Salazzle is going to be able to resist the counter damage from the Vigoroth while doing super effective damage against the Charjabug, which is really cool. And this team was amazing. Honestly, like this team was a lot of fun. I went straight away 5-0 with this team, which is also kind of wild. So if you enjoy some nice Salazzle content here, then feel free to smash that like button. I would really appreciate it. It's free, and also feel free to subscribe to the channel for some more Summer Cup content. Anyway, we're going to have an interesting team here, as this team is going to have also a Credilli in the back, and this team was just amazing. Again, like this team was amazing. Credilli has a lot of play in the current meta as well. Being able to have coverage against Fire-type Pokemon while also being able to beat Mud Boys is quite cool. So yeah, have some fun with this team. Definitely give it a try as well, as they're going to be able to quite easily win this first battle here for this video. So, horrible lead, and we still came back from it. What do you do against the lead of Skeledirge? You kind of want to stay in for a little bit and then try to catch the move onto the Vigoroth, because you can keep your energy on Salazzle, and keeping energy on Salazzle is insanely important. Here, the opponent is running Crunch, which is an interesting tech move, which I feel like has actually some play in this meta. I feel like Crunch on Skeledirge actually might be the way to go. Just because, like, if you take a look at, like, the Pokemon that they can encounter here, this is actually an interesting tech move, which I maybe even copy from the opponent. But what we can see as well, we got a shield from the opponent, now we can go for the Dragon Pulse, knocking out the first Pokemon from the opponent, while we are now equal in terms of Pokemon left. I decided to use a shield here on the Salazzle. While I don't use my energy now, I can still keep that for later on, and I can swap out into the Credilli, getting out the Venusaur, allowing me to go for a Rock Slide here, but this is going to be a tough matchup. They decided to go straight away for the Frenzy Plant, would do a ton of damage, but we decided to use a shield as we can go for another Rock Slide. Credilli is quite bulky, which is cool, and so we might be even able to still survive at least one more Frenzy Plant here, as we will be able to reach another Rock Slide, get the final shield from the opponent, and now it is down to Credilli. Can we survive this one? We can, and so we can knock out the opponent with another Rock Slide, but now we are kinda in a very low health range, and so we are going to be forced to swap out straight away into the Salazzle, going for that Poison Fang against the opponent here, going to be able to get some nice damage onto them, and I can still reach another one, dropping the defense even further, forcing them to go for a Charge move most likely. Yes, exactly, and now one Bullet Seed should be enough to knock them out, and so we're going to be able to win this game here as well, thanks to the Credilli. Next opponent, Stunfisk in the lead. So far, only horrible lead for us. Here, I could have actually stayed in for a little bit. This was a little bit of a mistake. You could have stayed in for 2 Incinerates and then swapped out, which I feel like is the better play to go for. Here, I decided to swap out straight away, and now we're going to be in a little bit of a tougher spot because of this. If I would be able to align myself here against the opponent's Vigoroth, this would be kind of great, but we saw already here that their HP and my HP are in a little bit of a tough spot because they have a little bit more than I do, and that is not really ideal. And so I'm going to be forced to go for the full farm down here. I could have went for a Poison Fang as well, but like farm down here kind of gives me at least some option for later on. And as you're gonna see here, the opponent is waiting out and giving me hopefully some energy now on my Credilli, which can help me out later as well. So at this point, we're going to have now a switch disadvantage, we have a shield disadvantage, but at least we have an energy lead. And this does not really help me too much, because as you're gonna see here, the opponent is going to have the Dub Wool. I could the Dub Wool see like here as well that they would run something like a Wild Charge or something like this, so I'm not too scared of like the payback here at this point. And they decided to go for that Body Slam, kind of revealing that they most likely don't run the payback and they're running a Wild Charge, which is totally fine for me. I can still reach another Charge move here with the Rock Slide. This is going to be able to connect against the opponent. We can swap out into the Salazzle. We cannot use a shield here because they still have the Stunfisk, and so we can take the move. Of course, the Stunfisk would have the double super effective Mud Bomb, and so taking a Body Slam was the way to go here. Poison Fang gonna get shielded, and with this game is over, as this Dragon Pulse debuffed easily going to not do enough damage, but one more Incinerate does, and so we can move on to the next opponent. Charjabug in the lead. This is going to be a great one for us, and it's kind of what I want to say anyway. Like, this team is so great in terms of beating Charjabug. Like, you have coverage for Charjabug on every single Pokemon here, which is kind of mad. We decided to go ahead and get some chip damage onto the opponent here and still use a shield because, yeah, it is always kind of awkward. I feel like Toxapex is for most teams that are built like the worst Pokemon to face, but yeah, it is okay. We're going to be able to get ahead here with a 1 charge move of the Body Slam, and we can go for 1 straight away afterwards, which is going to allow us to align ourselves for sure. Could have went for 1 extra fast move here, which would have allowed us to go for the Rock Slide here on a CMP type, but I think I still would be able to survive 1 charge move here from the Charjabug. Excel coming through. I can go for the Rock Slide now, and this is going to be totally okay. Like, this is totally fine. This is going to be able to get some damage onto them. We can swap out here actually, and they have a Quagsire in the back. Maybe the swap out was not really ideal here. But we're gonna still get a Poison Fang off, getting the shield from the opponent, and they're forced to go for a charge move here, which is kinda cool, as now Credilli is going to have a great spot, as Credilli does double super effective damage with a fast move and 1 charge move, but also the opponent is debuffed, and so we get a free fast move in here as well, which is lovely. They decided to go for the Mud Bomb. I'm gonna go ahead and try to go for the Grass Knot here, but now I decided, after seeing that they went for both of the charge moves already, I can just go for the Rock Slide. This very likely does not knock them out, but it's gonna put them into range where 1 Bullet Seed is going to be enough to knock them out, and so we can farm them down here, and now it's down to the Credilli against the Charjabug. They go straight for the charge move, allowing us to get another free fast move in, and so we can just go for another Rock Slide here, hopefully reach another one in time afterwards as well. But as you're gonna see here, the opponent is going to not get another move, and we can knock them out. So Credilli again here, kinda like underrated maybe. Like, this Pokemon definitely was quite decent for me. Look at this horrible lead for the opponent, and look at this interesting Sace-Up here of Galissapod. Like, I like the spice from the opponent here, definitely, but Salazzle also enjoys the spice quite a bit, as he's going to be able to connect that Poison Fang, and with us, we can definitely guarantee alignment against the opponent, and so, like, yeah, what do they really want to do here? We can go ahead and go for 1 Body Slam, knock out the opponent's Pokemon, and now they're going to have their Bomber Snow aligned against the Fire type, and they decide to forfeit, and this was the 5-0 from the beginning here, which is kinda mad, and we can move on to the next games. A lot more games to come here. We're going to have a horrible lead for us. This Pokemon is just generally very bad for our team. Poliwrath is quite an answer. I know that this is nice wind. Like, you don't have to get mad at me for shielding this one, but Salazzle has literally no defense. And if you take a look at the stats of my Salazzle, it's even worse. So here we're going to be able to go for 1 Poison Fang. I should stay in. Honestly, this was a mistake. I should have stayed in for a little bit and go for 2 Incinerates to keep my energy back again, basically. Because the fast move of the opponent does basically no damage. But I decided to go ahead and go into my Vigoroth. And by the looks of it, I think 1 Body Slam and a few more counters are actually enough to knock them out here because of the debuff, which is kind of cool. So maybe we still have a chance here. Body Slam coming through. We're going to have 2 Body Slams stored now as well, which is going to be great, as the opponent decides to use a shield and farm me down with that. So great play by the opponent, and so we are going to be basically in an impossible spot at this point. Brain is going to come through. I'm forced to go for basically a full farm down here, and they're even going to be able to reach another move here, which is going to be that Sludge Wave. And so we are way too low. They swap out at the same time as we swap out. We can go for the Poison Fang. Maybe should have went for the Dragon Pulse instead. We should have. But yeah, this game is basically impossible to win at this point. Like, Toxapex plus the Poliwrath is a weird team to use as the opponent, because like, what do you do against electric type Pokemon? But it is very good against us, and so like, that is going to be it for this one. Maybe you can see what they have in the back still. It is going to be the Charjabug, so they don't have a single electric type answer. That's great. I know Charjabug is neutral against it, but weird team from the opponent, it is what it is. Vigoroth in the lead. You're always going to be able to win this in the 2-shield scenario. Like, there's nothing the opponent can do to stop you winning this in the 2 shields, which is kind of cool. But I still would rather go for the play that I decided to go for here as well. Go straight for the Poison Fang, don't care about the fast move alignment, and then just swap out. You have an ABB style line anyway, and so it is kind of better for you to swap out eventually. Here, I make a little bit of a mistake by going for the Body Slam. I thought that they would use a shield, and I did also think that I would be able to win a Team Pita here, and I think I should have been able to win a Team Pita, don't I? Like, Charjabug is one of the bulkiest Pokemon, and Vigoroth is not, so I'm kind of confused about this, and I'm gonna check this real quick on the side, because I feel like I kind of got screwed over here. But maybe I'm not. Who knows? I'm gonna take a look here real quick at this side, and Charjabug has definitely a lower attack stat than the Vigoroth, so most likely I got screwed over. Unless the opponent had a 100% IV variant of it, which nobody really runs. Yeah, then they might be able to win the CMP type. But like, I even have an investment in attack for the Vigoroth, and like, for them to try to beat this, like, they have to have crazy highest attack stat with the Charjabug. So kind of wild. Kind of wild here from the opponent. Definitely going to change the matchup quite a bit, and that's kind of awkward for us. But as you're going to see, they're going to have a Lantern in the back. We can still go for the Grass Knot. Do they decide to use a shield here or not? Let's find out. They decide to let the move go through, and so we can win this game still. Next opponent, Charjabug in the lead. Again, a great lead for us. Let's see what they decide to do here. We have some lag, as we gonna see as well that we can go for a Poison Fang. I think the lag is on my side, by the way. The Poison Fang is going to be able to connect, and we can just farm them down. Goodbye there. They didn't decide to go for a charge move for whatever reason. We are definitely going to be fine with that. And look at this. The opponent has the Vigoroth here in the back, which is kind of hilarious because look at the Dragon Pulse. Sadly going to not connect here, but we can just take the advantage that we have. Like, there's no real reason for me to decide to go ahead and use a shield here. I have my own Vigoroth, I can go for my Body Slam. I lose Team Peter again. Like, what is with the attack investment that people have here right now? That is kind of insane. Like, honestly, I don't know, like, it is quite mad that they win against my Vigoroth, which already has attack investment, and they're going to have in the back a Victory Bell. Victory Bell is also quite an interesting Pokemon, I feel like, because Magical Leaf might make this Pokemon one of the spammiest Pokemon to play right now, so maybe something that's interesting for a video as well. I would kind of like to showcase maybe the Shadow variant for this league with the move of Magical Leaf, but as you can see, we get them quite low, and luckily they decided to not go for the full farm down. If they decided to go for the full farm down, I would have been done for. Like, there was no way of me winning this game. Like this, I can at least still hope and pray that Magical Leaf does not generate energy enough here for them to basically, yeah, get to another move. I get to my move before them, and so I can win this game quite easily, and we can move on to the next opponent. Next one coming through, let's see what they're going to have here. They're going to have the Swampert. Swampert is going to be okay for us, as we're going to see the swap out straight away for us, of course, into the Vigoroth. If we would stay in there, this would be kind of not a bad, like, it would be a bad idea for sure. Like, it definitely would not be ideal for us. As you can see, the opponent is going to go into the Vigoroth as well. It was definitely better to shield up the Hydro Cannon, but it is going to be kind of a hard counter matchup, so it's going to be kind of an awkward one. They can guarantee alignment here if they want to. My goal is to try to get them low enough that I can go into my Credilli afterwards and try to farm them all the way down, because Credilli can take the charge moves quite easily, but the fast move does quite a lot of damage. But Bullet Seed is just doing way less damage than I expected, and so we're in a very tough spot to try to win this game here. They at least go for the Body Slam spam and not for the Rock Slide, which is kind of good for us. We have a ton of energy now, but they have a Lickitung in the back, and yeah, this is going to be a tough one to play. Kind of want to take a look at Lickitung as well. Like, well, yeah, Lickitung is not really a spicy Pokemon or anything like this. I feel like it has so much play in the current meta, it's kind of mad. Here, maybe I make it. Nah, I don't make a mistake here, I think. I decide to let the move go through. My play here is to go for the full farm down with my Credilli, hoping that I can go for 2 Grass Knots against the Lickitung. That's basically what I can do here. They're Shadow, they're Squishy, they are double weak to Bullet Seed, and I can go for the full farm down. And like this, I can go for 1 Grass Knot. Can I go for another Grass Knot? Is this going to be enough to knock them out? Let's find out here. It is going to be very close, at least. I'm not too sure. Does it going to knock them out? It is going to be very, very close here. It does not. And so, sadly, they can lick me down. Final battle of today, some spice against some spice. We're going to have here the Salazzle against the Zapdos, and they swap back into our friend the Poliwrath. It's okay though, we're going to be in an okay spot now, because I can just get them a little bit lower, I can get the defense drop, I can use a shield here again, it does not really matter too much to me, I'm going to be okay here. I can go for another Poison Fang, if they want to let the move go through, have fun with that, if they don't, it's also fine. I can swap out, you know, if I want to, but the opponent let the move go through anyway. They have a Diggersby in the back, so I have to kind of swap out straight away here as well. You have 2 good answers against Diggersby, which is kind of fine, and they are running Scorching Sands here, and I was wondering if they're running Scorching Sands as well as the Fire Punch. But here we're gonna be able to go for that Body Slam, gonna be able to get the shield from the opponent back, as I can reach another one against the opponent's Zapdos, which is going to be kinda cool for us here as well. You're gonna be able to go ahead and try to let the move go through here. Drill Peck is coming through, and we're gonna see the Salazzle. He's going to use a shield as well. Shield is going to be able to get us to another Poison Fang, as well as we can... maybe I could have farmed them all the way down, but it was a little bit too risky for me. And like this, I can just align my Credilli against the opponent's Diggersby, and as long I don't get the Poison Fang off. This would have been cool, because Poison Fang would have been just kind of funny, I don't know. As long as they don't get crazy debuff, like, we are going to be fine. They have Fire Punch on this Pokemon, which is totally okay, which is also the way to go for this meta, in my opinion. I would actually go for Quick Attack over Mudshot, by the way. But yeah, we're going to be able to go for another Grass Knot. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.